The Grand Hall of the Galactic Defense Summit buzzed with activity as representatives from over 30 advanced civilizations gathered to showcase their latest military vessels. Floating holograms displayed sleek ships with elegant designs, each more impressive than the last. Then came Earth's turn. Admiral Tom Wilson stood at the podium, his weathered face showing no emotion as laughter rippled through the alien delegates. The massive hologram behind him displayed the U.S. Thunder, Earth's first contribution to the Galactic Defense Fleet. The ship looked like a giant metal brick with engines attached to it. Is this some kind of joke? Ambassador Reed of the Crystal Worlds didn't bother hiding his amusement. His crystalline form sparkled as he laughed. That design looks like something from their early space age. The Thunder's basic rectangular shape and visible welding lines made it appear primitive compared to the organic curves and energy-based construction of other species' vessels. Its hull was thick and obviously metallic, while modern ships used exotic materials that seemed to bend light itself. The U.S. Thunder represents humanity's best effort at carrier-class vessel construction. Admiral Wilson stated calmly. He'd expected this reaction. We believe it will serve its purpose effectively. More laughter followed. The Blue Star delegation's representative waved a tentacle dismissively. Our scans show no advanced shielding, no quantum arrays, not even basic gravity manipulation. How do you expect this box to survive modern combat? Wilson kept his face neutral as the insults continued. The massive ship rotating in the hologram behind him was over 3 kilometers long, but to the advanced races present, it might as well have been made of wood and sails. Perhaps the humans should stick to providing ground troops, suggested another delegate, earning more chuckles. Leave the shipbuilding to more experienced species. The admiral simply nodded, gathering his materials. We appreciate your feedback. Earth looks forward to proving the Thunder's worth when the time comes. As Wilson left the podium, his aide Jack Thompson fell into step beside him. They took the bait, sir, Thompson whispered, barely containing his grin. Hook, line, and sinker, Wilson replied quietly. They entered a secure lift heading to the Earth delegation's quarters. Did you see their scan readings? Thompson pulled out a tablet. Yes, sir. Not one of their sensors penetrated past the outer hull. They all think it's solid metal all the way through. Excellent. Wilson allowed himself a small smile. Any word from Dr. Evans? The final systems check is complete. Thunder is fully operational and ready for deployment. All special features are functioning perfectly. The lift doors opened to their secure area, where the real specs of the Thunder were displayed on encrypted screens. The simple box shape they'd shown upstairs was just the beginning. What lay beneath that thick hull would change the course of galactic warfare forever. Let them laugh, Wilson said, looking at the true schematics. They'll learn soon enough why humanity survived countless wars while they were still debating the ethics of conflict. He turned to Thompson. How long until the first pirate raid in Thunder's patrol sector? Intelligence suggests less than a week, sir. Perfect. Time to show the galaxy why you should never judge a book by its cover, or a human ship by its hull. Behind the thick metal doors of Secure Meeting Room 7, Dr. Alan Reed waited as the holographic display powered up. His audience consisted of just 3 people: Admiral Woods, Defense Minister Taylor, and Chief Engineer Brown. These were the only humans cleared to know Thunder's true capabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, Reed began, pressing his palm against the scanner. What you're about to see is why we let those aliens laugh at us upstairs. The room darkened, and a detailed hologram of Thunder appeared. The outer hull is exactly what they think. Basic metal plating, Reed explained, making a peeling gesture. The hologram responded, stripping away layers to reveal what lay beneath. But that's where basic ends. Minister Taylor leaned forward, her eyes widening. Those readings can't be right. Oh, they're right, Brown chuckled. That primitive hull. It's made of self-repairing nanometal. The alien scans showed them simple steel because that's what we wanted them to see. The metal actually absorbs and redirects scanning beams. The hologram zoomed in on Thunder's internal systems. What looked like empty cargo holds from outside were actually massive hangars filled with advanced fighter drones. The crude engine sections housed quantum drive systems that could outmaneuver anything in the galactic fleet. But here's the real beauty, Reed said, highlighting the ship's core. We didn't try to copy alien tech. We made something better, something new. The core glowed bright blue in the hologram. We combined old-school nuclear power with quantum mechanics. The aliens think it's a simple fusion reactor. In reality, it's the first successful quantum nuclear hybrid drive. It generates 3 times the power of their best engines, with half the fuel. Admiral Wood smiled as weapon systems appeared in the display. Hidden railguns, energy projectors, and missile bays that no alien scan had detected. How did we hide all this? Simple, Brown replied. We built the ship like an onion. Each layer blocks different types of scans. The aliens' advanced sensors actually worked against them. They were too sophisticated to detect our primitive masking technology. Reed pulled up footage from the test flights. Watch this, he said, playing a video of Thunder performing maneuvers that should have been impossible for its size. The massive ship moved like a fighter, its supposedly crude design hiding cutting-edge inertial dampeners and gravity drives. Best part is, Brown added, we got 5 more hulls nearly complete. While they're laughing at our metal box, we're building a fleet that could outfight anything in known space. Minister Taylor's face grew serious. When do we show them what it can really do? Soon, Admiral Woods replied. Intelligence reports increasing pirate activity in Section 7. Thunder ships out tomorrow for its first patrol. Those pirates have been using stolen alien tech to raid our colonies. He smiled grimly. They're in for quite a surprise. Should we warn the aliens? Taylor asked. No, Woods said firmly. Let them keep underestimating us. The day will come when they're glad they have Thunder on their side. For now, he looked at the hologram of the mighty ship. Let them laugh. They'll learn soon enough. The distress call came at 300 hours ship time. Pirates had ambushed the civilian transport Starcrest near the Centauri trade route. Captain Robert Drake of the U.S. Thunder sat in his command chair, hiding a small smile as he gave the order. All hands to battle stations. Nice and slow, helmsman. Let's not show our cards too early. The massive carrier lumbered through space, appearing clumsy and sluggish on any watching scanners. Ahead, 5 sleek pirate vessels circled the crippled transport ship like hungry sharks. Captain. The pirate leader's face appeared on Thunder's main screen, struggling to hide his glee. Withdraw your vessel. That outdated heap of metal is no match for our advanced ships. Drake noted their stolen alien technology, neural-linked targeting systems, plasma cannons, and quantum shields. Top-of-the-line gear that had made these pirates untouchable for months. This is your only warning, Drake replied calmly. Release the transport ship and surrender. Laughter echoed through the command channel. The pirate ships broke formation, moving to surround Thunder. Their leader spoke again. Your primitive vessel won't last 30 seconds against our weapons. Last chance stow. Mask off, Drake commanded. Thunder's transformation began. The dull metal hull shifted as hidden panels slid aside. Within seconds, hundreds of weapon ports appeared. The empty cargo holds opened to release swarms of combat drones. What the? The pirate leader's face showed pure shock. Now, Drake ordered, show them what primitive looks like. Thunder's quantum nuclear core surged to full power. The ship that had appeared to crawl through space suddenly moved like a striking snake. Before the pirates could react, Thunder had halved the distance between them. Sir, they're trying to lock weapons, Thunder's tactical officer reported. Let them try, Drake replied. Active countermeasures. The pirates fired their advanced plasma weapons, but the shots went wild, their targeting systems scrambled by Thunder's electronic warfare suite. Their stolen neural interfaces, meant to give them perfect accuracy, now fed them false data. "Drones engaging," the tactical officer announced. Hundreds of small craft swarmed the pirate vessels, their simple projectile weapons proving devastatingly effective against shields designed to stop energy weapons. 2 pirate ships fell in the first minute. A third tried to jump to light speed but found its drive wouldn't respond. Thunder's quantum disruptors had seen to that. "Captain," the pirate leader's voice now held panic. "We surrender. Please." Drake leaned forward in his chair. "Bit late for that. You've attacked 12 civilian ships in the past month. Time to face consequences." Thunder's main gun spoke. Not energy beams or plasma. Just good old-fashioned tungsten rods accelerated to near light speed. Simple, primitive, unstoppable. The remaining pirate ships didn't stand a chance. Later, as rescue ships arrived to help the Starcrest, Drake sent a brief message to Earth Command. "Field test complete. Thunder performs above expectations," requesting permission to send combat footage to Galactic Defense Council. The response came quickly. "Permission granted. Let's show them what primitive can do." Drake smiled, watching his crew secure the surviving pirates. Soon, every advanced race in the galaxy would know. Sometimes, the simplest solution was the best solution. And humans, they were masters of making simple things deadly. The footage of Thunder's battle spread through galactic communication channels like wildfire. In the Galactic Council's main chamber, the same aliens who had laughed at the primitive box now watched in stunned silence. Admiral Wood stood at the same podium where he'd been mocked weeks earlier. This time, no one laughed as the combat recording played. "Impossible," whispered the blue speaker, his skin now pale with shock. The hull, it changed. The recording showed Thunder's transformation in perfect detail. Metal plates shifting aside to reveal weapon systems more advanced than anything in known space. Drone swarms emerging from supposedly empty holds. The massive ship moving with impossible grace. "As you can see," Woods said calmly, "appearances can be deceiving." On the massive screen, Thunder executed a perfect combat turn, a maneuver that should have torn apart a ship that size. The gathered aliens watched as their precious stolen technology failed against what they'd dismissed as primitive weapons. "Those projectile weapons," the Crystal World's representative spoke up. "They're just metal rods." "Tungsten rods," Woods corrected. "Accelerated to 99% light speed. No energy shields in known space can stop them. Sometimes the old ways work best." The recording showed Thunder's drone swarms in action. Small, simple fighters overwhelming complex defense systems with basic tactics perfected over centuries of human warfare. "But our scans," another delegate protested. "We detected no advanced technology." Woods nodded to his aide, who activated a secondary display. "You detected exactly what we wanted you to detect." Each layer of Thunder's hull is designed to fool different scanning methods. The more sophisticated your scan, the more thoroughly it was deceived. The chamber erupted in worried whispers. If humans could hide this level of technology, what else were they hiding? "The drones themselves," Woods continued, "use no alien technology. Pure human engineering. Simple, reliable, and as you saw, extremely effective." The recording reached its end, showing the surviving pirate ships being captured. The aliens watched their stolen technology fail against what they called primitive. "We've received 17 requests for joint defense projects since this footage was released," Woods announced. "We're declining them all." "But," the blue speaker sputtered, "surely we can share technology." "You already did," Woods smiled. "Every time you mocked our designs, every time you showed off your advanced ships, we learned. We watched. We adapted. The Thunder isn't just a carrier. It's humanity's answer to being underestimated." The chamber fell silent again. The implications were clear. Humanity hadn't just built a powerful ship. They'd changed the rules of space combat itself. "We're not here to threaten anyone. Woods concluded, Thunder and her sister ships will serve in the Galactic Defense Fleet as promised. But remember this moment. Remember what happened when you judged a species by their appearance. As Woods left the podium, the alien representatives sat in shocked silence. The human they'd laughed at weeks ago had just revealed that Earth possessed technology that made their best ships obsolete. And somewhere in deep space, 4 more Thunder-class carriers were about to launch. The age of underestimating humanity was over. The Galactic Council's main archives had never been so busy. For the 5th straight day, representatives from advanced civilizations crowded around holographic displays, watching Thunder's combat footage frame by frame. Look there. An alien scientist pointed at the slowed-down recording. The hull doesn't just open, it flows like liquid metal. Dr. Reed stood to the side, watching the aliens analyze every detail of Thunder's performance. Earth Command had authorized him to answer basic questions, but the real secrets would stay secret. Is it true? A tall, green-skinned diplomat approached him. That humans designed this while completely ignoring standard galactic engineering principles. We didn't ignore them, Reed replied with a slight smile. We just chose a different path. The archive room buzzed with excitement as a new piece of footage began playing. Thunder performing high-speed maneuvers that violated what aliens thought possible for large ships. Preposterous, shouted a red-scaled warrior species representative. A vessel that size cannot move like that. The crew would be crushed. Reed stepped forward. Unless, he said quietly, the artificial gravity systems work in ways you haven't considered. The aliens crowded around him now. The same species that had mocked Thunder's design weeks ago were desperate to understand how it worked. We request a tour, the blue speaker announced, entering the archive room. The council has voted. We must see this ship up close. Reed checked his communicator as it buzzed. The message from Admiral Woods was simple. Show them exactly what we plan to show them. Very well, Reed nodded. Thunder will dock at Central Station tomorrow. But remember, some areas remain classified. The aliens muttered among themselves. They weren't used to being denied access to technology. Usually, they were the ones restricting knowledge. One more thing, Reed added, playing a new hologram. Thunder isn't alone anymore. The image showed 5 more carriers taking shape in Earth's orbital shipyards. Each one looked identical to Thunder from the outside. The same primitive design that had fooled everyone. 6. The blue speaker's skin paled. You're building 6 of these vessels. The first of many, Reed confirmed. Earth's contribution to galactic peace. The archive room fell silent. Everyone there understood the message. Humanity wasn't just catching up to galactic standards. They were setting new ones. Perhaps, the green diplomat said carefully, we should reconsider our approach to human engineering projects. Reed smiled again. Perhaps you should, though I doubt we'll show you everything next time. As he left the archives, Reed's communicator buzzed again. A message from Thunder's Captain Drake. Patrols report increased activity on the outer rim. Looks like some people still haven't gotten the message about not underestimating us. Reed typed back quickly. Good. Time to show them what Thunder can really do. Because the truth was, the ship hadn't revealed all its secrets in that first battle. Not even close. The aliens were still studying footage of capabilities Thunder had shown weeks ago. They hadn't even begun to guess what else humanity had hidden inside that primitive hull. And that was exactly how Earth wanted it. The attack came without warning. 12 warships from the Empire of Kor dropped out of hyperspace near Outpost 7, their weapons already charging. The massive space station, home to over 10,000 civilians, had only basic defenses. But it also had Thunder. Multiple hostile contacts. Thunder's sensor officer shouted. They're launching fighters. Captain Drake stood calmly on his bridge, watching the enemy fleet spread out in a classic attack formation. Their ships were top of the line, each one larger than Thunder. They still think we're primitive, Drake said quietly. Let's use that. All hands to battle stations. Begin Operation Thunderclap. The Empire ships moved forward confidently. Their commander's voice boomed across all channels. Surrender the station. Your single carrier cannot hope to. Drake cut the transmission. Launch all drones. Full spread. Show them what 12 against 1 really means. Thunder's hull rippled as launch bays opened. Not dozens, not hundreds, but thousands of combat drones poured out. Each one small, simple, and deadlier than anything the Empire had ever faced. "Sir," the tactical officer reported, "they're trying to jam our drone controls." Drake smiled. "Let them try. Our drones don't need remote control. They think like we do." The Empire fighters met Thunder's drone swarm head-on. It wasn't even close. The drones moved as one, using tactics perfected in Earth's ancient aerial battles. Within minutes, the enemy fighter screen was in chaos. Main batteries ready. Weapons reported. They're still in optimal range. "Fire when ready," Drake ordered. "Show them why you don't threaten civilians when Thunder's on watch." Thunder's primitive weapons opened up. Railguns fired their near-light-speed projectiles. Energy weapons that no scan had detected burned through enemy shields. The massive carrier moved like a dancer, dodging return fire, while striking from impossible angles. 3 Empire ships fell in the first pass. 2 more as they tried to regroup. "Sir," communications called out. "They're requesting surrender terms." "Bit late for that," Drake replied. "Tell them what happens when you threaten our people." Thunder's next attack run broke the enemy fleet completely. The surviving ships tried to retreat, but Thunder's quantum disruptors had already trapped them in normal space. When it was over, 11 Empire ships were destroyed. The 12th, crippled and powerless, was being boarded by Thunder's marine teams. Message from Earth Command. Communications announced. "They're asking for a situation report." Drake looked at his bridge crew, tired but proud. They'd just proved that Thunder could handle far more than pirates. "Tell them," Drake said, "that Thunder performed as designed. 12 enemy capital ships destroyed or captured, 0 civilian casualties, 0 damage to Outpost 7. He paused. "And tell them we're ready for more." As cleanup ships arrived, Drake watched the enemy fighters being collected for study. The Empire had thought one primitive carrier would be easy prey. They'd learned what others were starting to understand. Never assume humans are less advanced just because they do things differently. And Thunder. This was just the beginning of what it could do. The Galactic Council chamber had never been so quiet during a medal ceremony. Admiral Wood stood at attention as the High Council leader placed the Star of Defense around his neck, the highest military honor in known space. For outstanding innovation in galactic defense, the leader announced, his voice echoing through the chamber. And for proving that appearances can hide true strength. In the main display behind them, footage played of Thunder standing against 12 Empire warships. The same aliens who had once mocked the primitive box now watched in respectful silence. "We admit," the blue speakers stood up, "that we were wrong about human engineering. Very wrong." Woods nodded, touching the metal. "That was our plan all along." A murmur ran through the chamber. The Crystal World's representative spoke next. "You wanted us to underestimate you." "Of course," Woods smiled. "While you showed off your advanced technology, we studied. While you mocked our designs, we learned. Every laugh, every insult taught us something new." The display changed to show Thunder's sister ships launching from Earth's shipyards. 5 more carriers, each looking just as primitive as the first. 7 different species have requested human engineering teams, the leader announced. "They want to learn your methods." "And we'll help," Woods replied. "But not with everything. Some secrets stay with Earth." The chamber erupted in diplomatic chatter. The humans were offering help, but on their terms. It was unprecedented. "Tell us," an elder alien asked, "why hide such advanced technology behind simple designs?" Woods walked to the podium, his medal gleaming. Humans learned long ago. The warrior who shows all his weapons before battle is a fool. We didn't hide our technology because we were ashamed. We hid it because that's good strategy. The display showed Thunder's drone swarms in action, using combat techniques from Earth's World War II. Ancient tactics mixed with future tech. Every species here tried to forget their past. Woods continued. You called old methods primitive, but humans, we remember. We take what worked before and make it better. The leader raised his hands for silence. And now, will you show us Thunder's full capabilities? Woods laughed. You still think you've seen everything. He pressed a button, and a new image appeared. Blueprints for something even larger than Thunder. We're just getting started. The aliens stared at the plans in shock. If Thunder had changed space combat forever, what would come next? Remember this day, Woods concluded, not as the day you learned to fear human engineering, but as the day you learned to respect different approaches to progress. As he left the podium, requests for human engineering consultations flooded in. Species that had once looked down on Earth now sought their help. And somewhere in deep space, Thunder patrolled with its sister ships, their primitive hulls hiding innovations that had changed the galaxy forever. Earth had earned its place among the stars not by copying others, but by staying true to its own path. Sometimes, the old ways were the best ways, especially when mixed with new ideas. The age of underestimating humanity was truly over. In Earth's orbital defense headquarters, Dr. Reed stood before the largest gathering of alien scientists ever assembled on human territory. Behind him, detailed holograms showed Thunder's true technology for the first time. The key, Reed explained, wasn't building something better than your ships. It was building something different. The alien scientists leaned forward as Reed revealed Thunder's core systems. Not copied alien tech, but pure human innovation. Your civilizations focused on energy weapons and quantum shields. Reed continued. So we built kinetic weapons that ignore shields. You made complex eye-targeting systems, so we made simple drones that think like human pilots. The display showed Thunder's whole structure. Layer after layer of technology, each designed to fool different scanning methods. Our greatest advantage, Reed smiled, was that you taught us everything not to do. An older alien scientist raised his hand. But the quantum nuclear drive, that's impossible by our understanding. Exactly, Reed nodded. By your understanding, humans asked different questions, found different answers. The hologram shifted to show Thunder's drone control system, not the complex neural networks other species used, but a simplified version of Earth's old air combat tactics. You all tried to make machines think like machines, Reed explained. We made them think like humans. Sometimes the old ways work better than the new. The scientists whispered among themselves as Reed showed more innovations. Each one broke their rules of engineering, yet worked perfectly. But the most important truth, Reed said, bringing up combat footage, is that Thunder isn't our best ship, it's just the first. The room fell silent as blueprints appeared, designs for carriers twice Thunder's size, incorporating lessons from its battles. You see, Reed continued, humans never stop learning. Every battle teaches us something new. Every victory shows us how to be better. An alien engineer spoke up. These designs, they mix technologies no one thought could work together. Because no one tried. Reed replied. Everyone was too busy making things more complex. We made them simpler instead. The display showed Thunder's weapons in detail. Railguns that fired faster than energy beams. Shields that absorbed attacks instead of blocking them. Engines that bent physics in ways alien science said was impossible. This is why we're sharing this now, Reed concluded. Not to show off, but to show there's always another way. Always another answer, if you're willing to look for it. The alien scientists started taking notes frantically. Years of believing they knew everything about space technology were being proven wrong. One last thing, Reed said softly. Everything we've shown you today, it's already outdated. Thunder's next upgrade is already being installed. The message was clear. Humanity hadn't just caught up to galactic technology. They'd passed it and were still accelerating. As the scientists left, talking excitedly about new possibilities, Reed received a message from Admiral Woods. Think they understood the real lesson. Reed typed back that the most dangerous technology is the kind you don't recognize as technology. Yes, I think they're starting to get it. Because that was humanity's greatest strength. Not the ability to build advanced ships, but the wisdom to make them look simple. And that was a lesson the galaxy would never forget. 1 year after Thunder's first battle, the Galactic Defense Fleet gathering was very different from before. Where once sleek alien ships had dominated the formation, now 6 Thunder-class carriers led the fleet. Admiral Woods watched from the command deck of Thunder Prime, the newest and largest of Earth's carriers. Below him, joint human-alien crews worked together, each learning from the other. Fleet status report, Woods called out. All ships ready, sir, his officer replied. The alien crews have adapted well to our systems. It was true. After months of joint operations, even the most advanced species had admitted that sometimes simpler was better. Human-style drone controls had replaced complex AI systems. Kinetic weapons now supported energy beams. Message from the Council. Communications announced. They're ready for the demonstration. Woods nodded. This would be the first public showing of the new combined fleet tactics. Ships designed by every species in known space, all following Thunder's philosophy. Hide your strength, strike decisively. All ships begin formation, Thunder, Woods ordered. The fleet moved as one. Alien vessels that once tried to outshine each other now work together, using tactics learned from Earth's naval history. Simple, effective, deadly. Sir, sensors reported, the Empire is watching from their border. Good, Woods smiled. Let them see what happens when the galaxy works together. The demonstration began. Ships that looked outdated performed impossible maneuvers. Weapons that seemed primitive struck with devastating power. Every vessel in the fleet had learned Thunder's lesson. True strength lies in being underestimated. Council reports all defensive sectors covered. Communications said, the new fleet structure is working perfectly. Of course it was. Each Thunder-class carrier led a battle group of alien ships, combining the best of both worlds. Earth's strategies with alien technology. Simple solutions to complex problems. Message from Earth Command, his aide reported. The next generation of carriers is approved. Production begins next month. Woods watched his fleet move through space. A year ago, aliens had laughed at Thunder's design. Now they copied it, adding their own innovations while keeping the core philosophy. Sir, Tactical called out. All fleet elements report ready for jump drill. Execute, Woods ordered. 40 ships from 12 different species jumped to light speed in perfect formation. A maneuver that had been impossible before Thunder showed the way. Later, in his quarters, Woods read the latest reports. 20 more Thunder-class ships under construction. 100 of alien vessels being modified to Thunder standards. A new age of galactic defense, born from a primitive design. His screen lit up with a message from Dr. Reed. They finally understand. It was never about the technology. It was about the thinking behind it. Woods replied, and that's why they'll never catch up. By the time they copy what we show them, we've already moved on to something new. Because that was humanity's gift to the galaxy. Not just new technology, but a new way of thinking about technology. A reminder that progress doesn't always mean more complex solutions. Sometimes, the best answer is the simple one. The one your enemies laugh at, right up until it defeats them. And somewhere in deep space, Thunder still patrolled, still looking primitive to untrained eyes, still guarding the peace it had helped create. The box that changed the galaxy forever.